but where would a startup look to
Yeah.
begin to understand what their 3-year plan looks like?
Yeah. Well, there are two types of 3-year plans. There's the one that most people do, if they do them at all, and then there's one that I do. So the one that what most people do is they go, here we are. They look back at historical performance and they make realistic expectations on what they feel they can do for the next 12 months, as an example, and they then push themselves forward on that basis. So they might say, I did 150,000 last year. I know I can do 150,000, so I add on 20% this year, and they do that across the business. The other way of doing it, which is my preferred option, which is I look at, well, what do I want to achieve? So in 3 years' time, I put a line in the sand and go, forget what I think, I can do step by step, but what do I really want to achieve with this? Then I work backwards from that point and break it down into small bite-sized chunks and go, is it realistic now that I can achieve that over the next 3 years? Yes or no? If it's yes, great. What are the things I need to put in place to make it happen? What are those key milestones around, revenue, headcount growth, client acquisition, average fee per client, et cetera. And the other thing, if it's a no, I think, well, what are all the obstacles that are stopping me from achieving that 3-year plan? Because if I can actually start thinking about those things now, whether I'm a startup or a more established company, and I think, well, what are all of the things that can stop me? And I put a plan in place for every single one. Now, either I've got the answers and the solutions for that, or I don't. If I do have the answers, fantastic. Then how much more comfortable are those next 3 years going to be? Because I've got a plan, I've got a roadmap, it's achieving what I want, so I'm therefore more motivated, and I've got the solutions in advance. So when those problems come along, I've already got ahead of the curve. If those problems I don't have an answer to, then clearly you can go to your network to see if anyone else has come across those problems before and can share their solutions to it. Or ultimately, if you've gone, here's what I want to achieve, I've looked at all of the obstacles and you know what, they are insurmountable, I just cannot get over them, then of course, then you need to readdress your 3-year plan and the numbers you've got, and then maybe downplay it a little bit to something that is more realistic. Don't start with that point. Start with, what do you want to do? And then think of all of the things that could stop it from happening and put those things in place. Then I believe it's far more likely that then you can achieve it. And again, if you take a really big number, break it down into small bite-sized chunks and deliver those things with consistency and excellence, and you focus on the right metrics, what you typically find over a 3-year period is the metrics you need to focus on, which are things like, the amount of jobs you take on, and the average fee per client, the number of interviews you get, those sorts of typical core activities within recruitment. You tend to find over a 3-year window, it's actually tiny incremental amounts you need to achieve each month by each person in the company to achieve a bigger number than perhaps you would have done if you were just adding on 20% each year.